Okay, moving into old business. A, life safety items, capital improvements, on page 147 of the packet.
Okay, Mr. Papanikolaou, our construction manager, could not attend tonight's meeting, so in the updated online packet or the handouts in front of you are the documents that he normally reviews. There's not been any significant change in regards to caps or RFPs from Mr. Nicholas or from the construction project. I'll go for one more page. I'll start with the 2-week update. So right now, as you've seen tonight when you drove by, they're continuing with the bleacher install. Obviously, they're still doing plumbing and electrical and mechanicals inside the locker room. All the fence posts have been installed. The concrete curb has been installed. Storm trap structure tie-ins in the lift station, that is occurring and being finalized this week. We did hit some bedrock from the pump station to the storm vault. The pump station is closer to Rockefeller. It's about a 14-foot deep structure. We hit some bedrock at about 8 feet, so we had to go through. It's a 14 by 11 hole. That's 14 feet deep, 11 feet wide. We had to go down about 6 feet through the bedrock to get that pump station in. That's been corrected. And then there's a trench that will be piped on a diagonal from that location to the storm trap. They're taking care of that this week and being fully tied into the storm vault. The lockers have been installed. The turf is being installed. They're beginning to tile the showers, and the press box should hopefully be set on the bleachers at the end of this week. Next week is a lot of the same work with some additional painting, finalizing the turf install, finalizing the finishing touches with the window installation, the epoxy floors in the restrooms, installing toilet partitions. We will be set to host the opening on October the 2nd, pending all things going good with Mr. Sindinaki. But October the 2nd will be the also the homecoming game, as well as the opening and dedication of the state athletic complex. What will not be complete by October 2nd, the track surface will not be laid, just the base foundation of the asphalt will be laid, and then it takes like 21 days or 17 to 21 days for it to cure before they put the actual surface on it. In order to lay that surface correctly, there won't be any fabric, fence fabric installed on the fence pole. So what we'll do for the October 2nd and a few weeks to follow until the track is laid is the top rail and bottom rail will be installed about a foot to 2 feet up, so that it serves as a barricade around the asphalt track in the field during those two remaining home games and few soccer games that we're going to be able to fit in October. And then once the track surface is installed, then they'll put the fence fabric on in the finishing touches. We'll have some landscaping installed before October 2nd, and then there will be some remaining landscaping that will need to be completed after October 2nd, and the track striping will probably occur at the end of October, early November. In regards to the red and green chart that you have in front of you or online in board book, this is just an update of all the cost change proposals, change allowance proposals. Really, if you want to turn your attention to page 3 of that, these are the most recent ones. We did receive a $12,500 credit for some of the change allowance we had put aside for bedrock on Rockefeller as we tied into the storm sewers and sanitation sewers. That's been complete. We did not hit any bedrock, so we got a $12,500 credit. We did make a decision today on updating the garage, and we went with just glass block and a new coiling door and some paint, and that will be roughly about $15,000 to update the garage so that everything is somewhat consistent with brick color and look. We have pending, we have a $25,000 on the for number 40, which
That's
is
the one you
bedrock,
explained, right?
Yeah, with the pump station, and then 41 was just a number to purchase 120 hurdles. That's not something that will probably be coming out of the cap. We'll probably purchase those on our own. I've already approached the Booster Club to talk about possibly helping with contribution to purchasing new hurdles for both track teams. With the new track surface, a lot of our old hurdles have been pieced together over the last several years, so that could cause more damage than help. So we're looking at trying to piece in some new hurdles as we go out through next year. But those are the cap changes, so there haven't been many. And we're kind of getting to the final stages where we're really not anticipating, knock on wood once again, any major cap allowances or cap changes. So although we did have a visitor come and talk about the $214,000 cap that we used to fix the stone base, remember that was identified as being one of the significant causes of why we were retaining water instead of draining water.
Plus, we got a credit for $85,000.
We also achieved an $87,000 credit for stone from the previous installer so I think overall for the magnitude of this project, we should still we're hovering right around $200,000 in change orders, maybe slightly under that. So for a $9 million project, we're really watching it tight.
Yeah.
We had a 35-minute conversation in our construction meeting today, over $3,000. And we're dealing with a $9 million budget, so we went back and forth on a couple items with that, so.
And we did get some money to go against that 214,000, right?
Right, that's what we just cited, the 87,000. So really, we got a brand-new field, A to Z, for about another 127.
Well, we also saved money by being able to use some of that stone elsewhere.
Correct, we received a credit, we lowered that price even additionally by reusing, I think it's $13,500 by reusing that stone in other places in the project.
Right,
So if you think about it, that $214,000 change order was more like $114.
right.
And not that I'm saying to get out the buckets, but somebody who lives close to the school who says the house constantly has flooded since the last football field was put in, told me that this year, since we dug up the field and remediated that stone, that the basement is not flooded
Oh, good.
under conditions that would have caused flooding in the past.
Well, that's good to hear.
And that person was thinking that it was because we were fixing the field that it happened,
Oh,
that
good.
they did not flood.
That's the hope. Right.
The hope is that when that
Right.
field's draining, and then it's also draining in that giant vault, that's not putting an impact on the
Right.
sewer system.
So assuming that if we don't have extraordinary rain in the next 3 weeks, you're pretty confident on being able to open on homecoming on October 2nd, Kevin?
Representatives of the Canale family will be attending the event on October 2nd. Mary Ann is sending out invitations to all the dignitaries as well as all the board members.
Okay.
The idea is to have a 10 to 15-minute dedication ceremony between the sophomore and varsity game
Good.
on homecoming night on October 2nd. And all the board members, as well as one student athlete from every athletic team at Riverside Brookfield High School, and the Canale family will cut the ribbon.
Okay, good.
Thank you. The next document?
So the next document is just a log of RFPs, so that just kind of coordinates with the cap numbers, but there's nothing on there that really need to be shared.
Okay, any further board questions or discussions on this item?